promote terror. Does this mean we're doomed to send our young men and women to fight and die in the Middle East forever? We interview a smart young guy named Jerrod Laber who's been writing a lot about Afghanistan, why we can't win in Afghanistan and why we need to get out. Check out this interview. What is a conservative foreign policy and why is the Republican Party so off track?
Well, I would say a conservative foreign policy, or even to a certain extent a libertarian foreign policy, is one of restraint and anti-intervention. And I think the defining moment, and the defining moment of my lifetime for the reason why things sort of went off the rails, particularly as it pertains to conservatives and Republicans, was of course 9/11. I wrote about this for the American Conservative on September 12th, actually recently, just a few weeks ago, and talked about the moral conceit of sort of post-9/11 politics. 9/11 shocked the conscience in a way that most of us had never seen. All of a sudden, it was a threat that the U.S. government had by and large ignored, and then all of a sudden, with 9/11 thrust onto the spotlight, non-state sort of terror actors were all of a sudden seen as like the greatest security threat. The world, in their eyes, the world got super small. It's like the idea was that we would go in, we would basically totally eliminate the current existing sort of social order, and we could replace it with something that we liked. And obviously, there's all sorts of like Hayekian theoretical problems with it, with like nation building and state building in that sense, particularly by external foreign actors.
Just that fatal conceit that we could, from the top down, from far, far away, re-engineer Afghani society. That has to be the lesson here. We can't do that, and trying leads to a lot of dead Americans and trillions of dollars of lost treasure.
One would hope that would be the lesson. It has been instilled in a certain sense. We're no longer trying to build liberal institutions. We're just trying to build institutions that won't fall apart the moment we leave. Now, of course, we're not being very successful at that either. But it also it blurs the line between wartime and peacetime. And so this lack of a national sacrifice on the part of everyday Americans, it creates this scenario where no one cares about it. It's not politically costly. It's no longer politically costly that we've been involved in a sort of quagmire war now for pretty much the entirety of my adolescence and adulthood, and that has a corrosive effect on politics.
You talk.